Hello, friends. Welcome to your perfect yoga for your layover. My name is Ashley. I just want to say hello and welcome. I am a yoga teacher and cyclical living mentor. I created and own and operate Energy Flow Yoga. I specialize in helping my students create pleasurable periods, find relief from PMS, create more abundance of energy, and build that badass confidence in their life by learning how to live in flow with their menstrual cycle, how to balance their hormones naturally, and create better cycle health, which leads to better overall health. Jenny and I connected because, on top of all that, I'm also a flight attendant. I've been flying for American for about 7.5 years, flown by. Yes, pun fully intended. As you guys know, flight attendants love those flying puns. So Jenny and I connected when we flew together, and also because we're both so passionate about the concept of holistic health and sharing holistic health with as many people as we can. I found in my personal journey and working with my students, if you approach trying to heal your period or any health issue you're experiencing from just one avenue, it's just not going to have the same lasting effects versus when you look at your health in a holistic approach, look at all parts of you, that's when you have the transformation. And that's when that work and those changes are actually sustainable for the long term. And that's really what I do with my students. I teach not only the science and what I call the real sex ed of your cycle, that sex ed that we should have all gotten when we were like 11, 12 years old and we didn't, learning all of that science and the biological aspect of understanding how your menstrual cycle works and how that affects your overall health. But also tuning in to yourself, learning to connect with and trust your intuition in a more powerful way, learning to take care of yourself that looks at all aspects of you. And that's why yoga is, chef's kiss, magical, perfect practice for those looking to create a more embodied, holistic experience, a more healthy experience in their lives. Yoga teaches you not only the physical aspect, which we're going to get into today, but it teaches you how to take care of and see and hold space for all parts of you, body, mind, and soul. And that's why yoga is so amazing. If you want to learn more about me and what I do, of course, you can reach out to Jenny and she'll share that information. And we actually have a very exciting project coming up, which you'll want to keep your ears and eyes peeled for. But first things first, let's give you the perfect yoga practice for your layover. We all know what it's like to work those super long duty days, feel like you barely had time to eat, barely had time, like a moment for yourself the entire day. And this practice is going to give you that moment. It's a 30-minute practice. Clearly, I am in my little home studio / guest room. But you could do this with minimal space. Totally could be done in a hotel room. I have my yoga mat, and yes, I bring my yoga mat on my layovers. I'm the crazy bag lady. But you don't need a yoga mat for this practice. You could like go swipe a mat from the gym if you wanted to, if you don't have a yoga mat, or you could totally just roll out a bath towel. We won't be doing any intensive movements. It's more going to be giving you a chance to really breathe, feel your body. We will build a little heat and just kind of decompress from your day. So without further ado, I say let's get started. So please come to your space, your mat or your towel, or you could even totally do this on top of your hotel bed. You want to get really comfy and cushy with it. And we're going to begin in child's pose. Let's make it a nice, juicy, wide knee child's pose. So go ahead and bring your knees wide. Big toes come to touch. As you exhale, sit back over the heels and begin to stretch your torso out. You can let your forehead come down to rest on the mat. And just take a moment here. You can feel your weight start to slowly sink into the floor. Notice where it's heavier. Notice the tension slowly melting as you let the floor support you. And draw your awareness into your breath. Notice the quality of your breath. Is it deep or shallow? Fast or slow? And as you begin to notice, ask it to grow a little bit longer, a little bit deeper. Nice long breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, let out a little sigh. We all know what it's like to be at the end of a super long duty day. Want to get out of our uniforms as quickly as possible. Maybe you want to crack open that bottle of wine. But just taking a few minutes to connect with yourself, to sit with yourself, to breathe, to truly check in is so powerful. Sending a message to your inner self that, hey, I'm here for you. I see you. I'm going to take care of you. But you may not have got much of that message today. Transition your breath, starting to ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose and back out through the nose with that slight constriction at the back of the throat. This breath is super intentional, helps us stay focused and present, also helps to build a little heat in the body. Your next inhale, slowly start to move up to a tabletop position, hands and knees. Align your wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Find your center balance by giving yourself a little shift side to side, forward and back. And settle in to that steady tabletop position. Your next inhale, allow the belly to drop down toward the earth, tailbone and crown peel up for cow pose. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round through the spine, chin comes in toward the chest for cat pose. And continue to flow through these two poses with your own breath. Inhaling, open to cow. Exhaling, close to cat. Make this move your own. Make it serve you, feel good in your body. So we move throughout our entire practice today. Think of me as your guide. I'll offer lots of suggestions, choices, options for your practice. And I want you to make it your mission to make this practice work for you. Choose what feels best. Choose what feels like it's serving you and what you need. Take one more full breath here, coming into any other variation of movement that feels good. On your next inhale, meet me back in a neutral spine. You're going to take a big breath and step the left toes back toward the back of the mat. Extend the right arm forward like you're reaching out to shake someone's hand. No, we don't really do that post-COVID times, but you remember how to do it. You can keep your toes on the earth here. If you want a little challenge, lift that back leg. Flex the toes in toward the knee to help activate the muscles throughout the leg. As you inhale, stretch hand and foot away from each other. And then as you exhale, draw elbow and knee to meet under the body. Inhale, lift, stretch, reach. Exhale, curl, round, compress. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, one more stretch long. Exhale, release the hand and knee down. You give a little wiggle for your shoulders and hips, settling back into center. And of course, we're gonna do it on the other side. Inhale, right toes step back, left arm stretches forward. If you wanna keep the toes on the floor, you can simply drag the toes along the floor as you curl and extend. And if you want, again, option to lift that back leg. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, one final extension. Exhale, hand and knee come down. Give your head and your hips a little wiggle. Settle back into center. Maybe building a little heat in the body already. Starting to become more connected and more aware. Tuck under your toes. On your next exhale, send the hips up and back for Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward facing dog. If you've ever practiced yoga before, you've undoubtedly done this pose. Just take a moment to let yourself settle in here. Your arms are extended long, palms pressing into the floor. Feel your shoulder blades draw together and down the spine. Hips are pointing really high here. Take a moment to press one heel down to the earth and then the next. Stretching through the backs of the legs, the ankles, even the bottoms of the feet and the toes. And settle into your down dog pose. In your next inhale, draw the weight into your left foot and take a little lift with that right leg. Doesn't have to be too high at first. Just first testing out our balance. Draw the belly button into the spine to help the core stay nice and strong. Get a little twist in that lifted ankle. Drawing your foot around in circles in one direction, and then reverse. Your next inhale, stretch that foot up a little bit higher. Exhale, step it back down, downward facing dog. Walk it out. Settle back into down dog. Inhale, left foot rises. Again, doesn't have to be too high at first. And settle for parallel to the floor. If that feels good to you. Just testing the balance, heating up the muscles in our body. Let's give that ankle a nice twist. Probably we're wearing uncomfortable shoes all day. I hope not, but let's face it, that happens a lot. It can be nice to show our feet, our ankles, our legs a little love. Your next inhale, stretch that foot up high. Exhale, step it back down, downward facing dog. Your next inhale, rise up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward between the hands, and take baby steps all the way forward to the top of your mat or your space. Let's heel toe the feet nice and wide and get a nice juicy bend in the knees. Allow your torso to melt over the low body, ragdoll. You can grasp opposite elbows and just give your torso a little shake, a little wave, back and forth, side to side. See if you can release any excess tension. Allow the weight of gravity just to kind of stretch torso long here. And give your head a little nod yes or shake no. And feel our vertebrae slowly decompressing, the spine gently lengthening. Release your hands to the earth. Heel toe the feet into center, maybe hip width feels good in your body, or feet all the way in, big toes touching. Choose what feels good to you. And release in our forward fold, Uttanasana. Give your knees a little bend here. If you feel that excessive stretching in the back of the hamstrings or the low back, I want to invite that bend in. We're not pushing or forcing our way. Again, remember, you're customizing this practice. You're making those choices that feel best for you. Your next inhale, press into the feet, give the knees a little bend, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Upward salute pose, your body stretched in one long line. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Take a moment here and close your eyes. Give yourself a little shift, side to side, forward and back in your feet, until you find yourself slowly coming in to center. Check back in with your breath. How's the pattern changed? Is it maybe a little bit faster, maybe a little shallower? Take a moment to recommit to that deep, long inhale through the nose. Nice long exhale through the nose. Your next inhale, blink open the eyes, arms sweep up to the sky. Exhale, release all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, stretch the spine long as the crown, top of the head stretches straight forward, tailbone stretches straight back, spine is long and the hands can slide up the legs. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Adding on, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend, lift halfway. Exhale, release, plant the hands. Step the right foot back toward the back of the mat. Release the knee and foot down to the earth. As you inhale, draw the belly and chest forward, deepening the stretch through the front of the right hip flexor here. As you exhale, straighten the left leg, sit back, draw the toes up and back to stretch the back of the left leg in our half split. Inhale, draw forward, deep low lunge. Exhale, sit back, half split. Inhale, draw forward. This time, focus on pressing through the left foot. Arms and torso lift high as the hips sink a little lower for Anjaneyasana low lunge. Staying focused with the breath here. Still nice and steady, nice and deep. Check in with the low back if you're feeling tension. Back out of that lunge slightly. Your next inhale, option to draw the hands to touch at high prayer and open the belly and chest for a nice little back bend. Exhale, hands come down to frame the forward foot. Tuck under those back toes and send that left leg back for plank pose. Always have options in plank. You can come to kneeling plank like I'm doing right now, or tuck under the toes and press the backs of the legs up toward the ceiling for full plank, Balasana. Wherever you're at, big breath in, actively pressing against the earth through the hands. Exhale, lower knees, then chest, then chin. Allow your body to melt into the floor. You can let your chin come down or your forehead. Let's take a moment there to settle in. Allow your weight to release into the earth. Feel that support of the floor or your bed. If it could talk to you, it'd say, hey, I got you. I know that's cheesy, but that's just how I am. Your next inhale, peel the head up, chest begins to peel up off the floor for baby cobra. Press into the tops of the feet, down into the earth to help you get that lift. That helps to activate those pelvic floor muscles, the base of our core. Exhale, release back down to the earth. You can give your head a little rock back and forth, maybe even the hips. Inhale, press it through the tops of the feet again. Peel the chest up forward. Exhale, lower. This time as you peel up and forward and inhale, option to add a press into the palms to come even higher for cobra pose. Elbows are bent roughly 90 degrees, opening across the chest, shoulder blades together and down the spine, creating that openness across the collarbones. Exhale, release all the way down to the mat. You can tuck under the toes on your next breath in, rise up your tabletop or plank pose. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment to walk it out. Settle into your down dog. Your next inhale, look forward between the hands. Take as many steps as you need. Step that right foot forward between the hands. Release the left knee and foot to the earth. As you inhale, draw the belly and chest forward. Now focusing on the stretch in the front of the left leg. Exhale, straighten the right leg as you sit back, flex the toes up toward the knee to deepen the stretch in the back of the right leg. Inhale, draw forward. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, sit back. This time as you inhale, draw forward, press through that right foot, arms and torso sweep high as the hips sink low for Anjaneyasana. Draw your awareness to your shoulders here for a second. If you're squeezing up the shoulders up toward the ears, take a moment, roll the shoulders down and back. Pivot the pinky fingers into the center line, nice and open across the chest. Option to draw the hands together and invite in that back bend. Exhale, hands come down to frame the forward foot. Tuck out with the toes, and this time take as many steps as you need to step both feet forward to the top of the mat. Release forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, press into the feet, sweep the arms up to the sky, upward salute. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Take a moment to breathe here. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the breath in your chest, your belly, your throat. Feel maybe a little warmth in your muscles. Stretch happening in different parts of your body. I'm going to heat it up a little bit more before our cool down. Your next inhale, blink open the eyes. Arms sweep up to the sky. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, plant the hands, step both feet back this time for plank pose. And exhale, up and back right away, downward facing dog. Take a moment to walk it out and then settle in. Your next inhale, right leg stretches up high toward the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, look forward, take as many steps as you need, step that foot forward between the hands. Back heel pivots down, plant that foot into the earth. Really feel the connection of both feet down here. Press down to help you lift the torso and arms high for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 pose. Allow the hips to sink square to the front of the back. Back foot is pressing all the way through the pinky edge. Front toes pointing forward. Chest is open and tall and proud, like a strong warrior. One more big inhale. As you exhale, open the chest and hips to the long side of the room. Gaze opens out over those front fingers, in this case, the right fingers. Your next inhale, right hand turns to the sky. Reach forward, up and back, reverse warrior. Deep stretch of the right side. Keep that front knee deeply bent as you stretch. And then with each exhale, gently dropping the right shoulder a little bit more open toward the sky. Gaze can be up at the top hand, down at the back foot. Choose what feels good for you. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot. Step back to plank pose of your choice, always plank of your choice. Exhale, lower to the earth, knees, chest and chin. Melt into the floor. Inhale, peel the chest up and forward for cobra pose. Exhale, release to the earth. Inhale, rise to tabletop or plank. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Your next inhale, left leg rises up toward the sky. Exhale, look forward, step it through. Take as many steps as you need. 1 step is cool, 100 steps is cool, whatever feels good for you. Allow that back heel to pivot down to the mat, right toes pointing to the side, left toes pointing forward. Press through those feet to help you lift and extend up, warrior 1. Hips are square, chest is tall. Might be feeling a little sweaty, you're feeling warm. Forgot all about that guy who needed the Coke and he was rude. You're just right here, enjoying your experience. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, open arms, chest, and hips to the long side of the mat. Gaze is forward over that left middle finger. Maybe with each exhale here, you bend that front knee a little bit more deeply, sinking more powerfully into the pose. Your next inhale, the left palm turns to the sky. Stretch forward, then up and back, reverse warrior. Option to slide that right hand down the leg, or you can tuck it behind your back. Just choose whatever feels good for you. With each exhale, allow that left shoulder to drop back a little bit further. Open the chest up toward the sky. Take one more big inhale. Feel the ribs expand and stretch. Exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down the frame, the forward foot. Step back to plank of your choice. Big breath in. Let's flow through our vinyasa. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale to cobra pose. Exhale. This time, let's slide all our way back into child's pose. You can keep your knees narrow or stretch them out wide. Choose whatever version of child's pose feels good for you. Arms can remain outstretched long, or maybe you want to draw the hands back toward the feet. Let's take a moment to breathe. Allow your body to be fully supported by the floor. Check back in with your breath here. How's it changed compared to when we started practice? Invite it to grow back into that long, deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Your next inhale, gently move your way up into tabletop or that all fours position. Tuck under your toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Your next inhale, rise onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward, take baby steps, or lift through the pelvic floor and hop to the top of your mat. Invite a little joy and fun in. Release, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up high, upward salute. Exhale, hands come down to heart. Let's come into one fun balancing pose before we really get into our cool down. My favorite balancing pose of all time, tree pose. So let's start with the right foot down onto the earth. Feel your weight slowly shift into that right leg. Hands can be in prayer position at the heart or on the hips. Wherever feels best, most balanced for you. And left foot is our lifted leg. You can keep the toes on the earth, heel against the inner ankle, if that feels good. You can draw the foot up to the inner calf, all the way up to the inner thigh. Again, this is all about making the choice that feels best for you. It makes you feel most at home in your body, makes you feel most connected, empowered, and like you're doing the thing. So choose one that is challenging in the best way. Find that fixed point on the wall. If you are doing this practice on your bed, I imagine this would be very difficult on a bed because it would be very wobbly under your foot. So it might be better to come to the floor for this. Or if you really want the challenge and really testing your balance, go for it. You feel steady and ready. Your next inhale, arms can extend up high overhead. Grow your branches. Maybe even turn your gaze up towards the sky. One more big inhale here. Exhale, hands come down, leg releases down, and give yourself a nice full body shimmy. Make it weird, embarrass yourself, and step back into center or the other side. Weight comes into the left foot. Right foot lifts either ankle, inner calf, or upper thigh. Really doesn't matter where you place your foot along the leg as long as it's not against the knee. We don't like any lateral pressure against the knees because our knees don't move that way. Take a moment, find your center connection of that left foot down with the earth. Your spine steady, yet flexible, able to take those little moves, those little adjustments. I know we are all taught in flight attendant training to sway like a palm trees, be flexible, be easygoing. Take those changes, those adjustments with life as with our jobs. Your next inhale, option to grow your arms up tall, grow your branches. And I think part of being steady like a palm tree is also remembering your roots, remembering to take care of you, to take that time and honor all parts of yourself. Exhale, hands come down to the chest. Release that right leg down and give yourself a full wiggle and shake. And step back to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms sweep up to the sky. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands. Let's just slowly bend our knees. Use your hands to guide you back onto your seat. Feet planted on the earth, knees pointing up high. Slowly release, rolling one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to your back. So allow yourself a moment to breathe. See what it feels like to be resting on the floor. Feel your body fully supported and held. Your next inhale, draw the knees up into the chest for Apanasana, knees to chest pose. Wind relief pose. You can grasp opposite hands, wrists, or elbows. Give yourself a gentle rock side to side. Just nicely massage along the spine. Let's release the left leg long and keep that right knee pulling up in toward the chest. Your next exhale, draw that right knee all the way over across the body to the left, coming to a nice little supine twist. Right arm can extend out either straight, or if you have limited space, into a cactus arm at 90 degrees. Right knee is stretching across the body. Gaze is out toward the right, allowing this twist and stretch to happen in the low back. Make sure your shoulder blade is still touching down, right and left. Gently release back into center. Give both knees a brief squeeze, and then this time right leg extends long. Left knee continues to pull up, and then all the way across and over for the opposite side. And allow yourself to slowly release into this pose. Again, making sure that it's working for you and it's giving you what you need and you crave and desire out of this practice. And gently release back into center. Let's give both knees another tight squeeze. Maybe this time even drawing your forehead up toward the legs, making yourself into a tiny little ball. And then as you exhale, slowly unwind and release to stretch all the way out for our final pose, Shavasana, resting pose, corpse pose. Allow your legs to stretch long, your feet to naturally fall open to the sides. Arms rest alongside the body. You can have your palms facing down toward the floor if you want more of a restful, quiet energy, and facing up, open if you want more of a receptive, open energy. You take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, open your mouth, let out a sigh. Let your eyes come closed, lips come closed. You can feel the muscles around your forehead, your temples slowly melt, relax. You can feel your jaw unclench. Your arms and legs are stretched out long. And let your breath return to its just natural rhythm. Let it flow in easily and back out. As you sink bit by bit, slowly but surely into the earth. throughout your duty day today. You might have felt ignored. You might have felt irritated, upset, taken for granted. I hope you didn't feel those things, but we all know that unfortunately that's too often the reality of our job. We're on duty for hours on end without time for rest, without time to eat, without our most precious loved ones. I just want to take a moment to recognize that. It's okay if you felt that way. It's okay if you felt upset or tired or crabby. And I also want to take a moment to say I'm so proud of you for taking this time to hold space for yourself, honor yourself, take care of yourself. You can stay here in Shavasana for as long as you'd like, but when you're ready to move forward with the rest of your layover, give your toes a little wiggle. And then your fingers, stretch your arms up overhead with that full body stretch. And slowly make your way all the way up to a comfortable seat. Maybe you roll onto one side, or maybe you roll up and down your spine. Keep your eyes closed if you can. And once you're settled in your seat, bring your hands up over your heart. Take one more moment to breathe here. Let's practice a moment of gratitude. What do you feel grateful for in this moment? It has been an honor leading you through this practice. I am grateful for each and every one of you. Gently blink open the eyes. Thank you for joining me, yogis, fellow flight attendants, and friends. I hope you enjoyed our practice. It was truly an honor having you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, friends. I loved our practice. I hope you did too. And I look forward to seeing you in yoga and seeing you out on the line. Bye.